Hi, my name's Angie Bauma. I'm the Senior Land Steward at the Grand Traverse Regional Land Conservancy. I'm here today at the Timbers Recreation Area in Grand Traverse County, and we're here looking at a group of organisms called lichens. And I am the botany go-to person at the Conservancy, so I coordinate and conduct inventories on our protected lands. Normally I focus on the vascular or terrestrial plant species, but today at the tail end of winter, lichens are one of the most visible things you can see out in the woods. We thought we would showcase some of the species that you might see along the trail. So lichens are an interesting group. They are actually more closely related to mushrooms or fungus. They're in the fungal kingdom. And these species are found growing on trees, on rocks, on pretty much anything solid enough to stand still for any amount of time. They're even known to occur on slow-moving tortoise shells. So lichens are very hardy, very adaptable. You might associate them with the Arctic tundra, where you generally see a lot of lichens growing in very harsh conditions. Despite that ability to grow in harsh conditions, they're also sensitive to air pollution. So they're an excellent bioindicator for air quality. And if you have a lot of lichens growing on your property, that's a great thing. It doesn't hurt your trees. They don't have roots. They don't invade the bark of your trees. They like to grow on the older bark. Interesting thing about lichens is that they're actually like a group of organisms all living in one shape, and the fungal partner and the algae partner, or the cyanobacteria, determine the species grouping. So the mushroom or the fungal partner provides the structure for the algae, and then the algae provides the photosynthesis for the mushroom. So it's a classic it's a case of symbiosis. Each lichen has its own specific requirements. There's about 700 to 1,000 species of lichens in the Northeast United States, and about 20,000 lichens worldwide. They're still identifying new species. There's a lot they're still learning about lichens as well, but in general, there are 3 types. Again, they're crustose, which is the shield lichens, or the very flat lichens on the bark surface. There's the foliose, which have like a leaf-like look to them. And then there's the fruticose, or shrubby lichens, like your classic British soldier lichens that grow on the ground or tree stumps. On this tree here, which is a red oak, we have a great example of a foliose lichen, and you can see it growing all the way from the base of the tree almost to the top. And this foliose structure of the lichen is a green color. Lichens can get their color from the cyanobacteria, the algae, or even the fungal partner. So lichens come in all different kinds of colors. This particular species is green, and it is growing along with a crustose lichen, which grows right flat on the surface of the bark, so it has no cortex or leaf-like shape. And then interspersed throughout this foliose or leafy lichen, you can see a dark green color here, and that's the moss growing in between the lichen. And a species that often gets confused for a moss is Reindeer Moss, it's called, but it's actually a lichen. Reindeer lichen is a great example of a benefit that lichens provide to wildlife. Caribou and reindeer actually do require reindeer lichen to survive. It's their preferred forage, and many other species of wildlife utilize lichens. Birds use it for nesting material. There's even moths that have evolved to blend in with lichens. So lichens play a really important role in our ecosystem. Moss and lichen are both very dependent upon getting their nutrients from the air and the water from the air. Lichens can tolerate more desiccation or drying than mosses, but they're often found growing together because they do go dormant and they do obtain their nutrients from the air, their epiphytes. And So they can be bright colored if they're active and happy, or they can be a different color or drier if they're drying out and need some more moisture. But this species here seems very happy on the side of this tree. And then down below we have some pixie cup or shrubby fruticose lichens growing right in the cracks of the bark. So this is a great tree as an example of the diversity of lichens just on one tree species. Like I said before, lichens grow in a wide variety of habitats. Here we are in an open field at Timbers, and right here we have shrubby lichens called reindeer lichens or reindeer moss. They're not a moss, they're actually a lichen. And we have two different species growing here. You can see the slightly different color as you get closer to the ground. You can see one is a little lighter and has thinner branches, and one's a little bit thicker. But in general, as you're walking around Conservancy protected lands and you're looking for something fun and interesting to learn about, I highly recommend taking a deeper look at lichens. And there's lots of great references out there. There's Michigan Lichens by a local botanist, Julie Jones Medlin. She's volunteered for us on our plant inventories as well. Her book is amazing. It has great photos and identification tips. And also there's a whole system of internet identification you can use. iNaturalist is a great tool. There's a Northeast United States lichen group. You can take pictures and share, and people can help you with identification. Or in general, just learning more about this interesting group and enjoying your time out on Conservancy lands. As a reminder, there are a lot of other field guides available on our website at www.gtrlc.org, and we hope you enjoy your time connecting with nature. Thank you.